Yeah, so in 2025, I would want to say that I failed pretty much everything that I tried, every venture that I tried. I'd start and stopped and killed a lot of things. When I break it down here with you guys together on what I did in 2025 was like a holistic, just an overall view of what happened. And for 2026, of what I'm going to be doing going forward for sure. So I was primarily doing Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I was recovering from an injury that I had from 2024. Guy snapped my MCL in half. Literally, I had a grade 2 MCL tear. Horrible, horrible situation. My knee was as big, got as big as like this. My knee swelled up like I had another kneecap. You know, to put things into perspective. So I was doing this. This didn't do as well as I thought it would have done. I was called gay more than anything else. Now that I think about it, another slurs. Now that I think about like my journey here, I also didn't position myself properly as well. So this was a bust because I was making content that I enjoyed and not necessarily what people wanted to see. Like I wasn't looking at what I would say like on the explore page of what's going viral in jiu-jitsu. I was just like making like highlight reels of like my fights, like who really, it's cool for other jiu-jitsu guys, but like for broad appeal, like to go viral, it's like, it doesn't really appeal to people. So this was what I would say was my real one of my main focuses in 2025 that didn't really come to life as a result of poor planning and execution. Next up, my follower count actually tripled recently, but I was also heavily on LinkedIn. I was posting 3 times a week, and I was barely scraping 2,000 like impressions for LinkedIn. Now I'm posting twice a day, and now I'm getting like since the new year, and I'm now up. I'm coming from like what 500 followers now to 815, and I'm shy 3,000 impressions on this platform. But previously, this was actually a huge thing for me this year because I actually started an LLC. Yeah, so I started an LLC in Wyoming where I was actually doing like I got in on the NNN craze, and at one point I was doing like NAN and V0 websites. It was client acquisition is crazy, and I didn't do a very good job at doing that as well. I found out very quickly that I didn't really want to get on calls with a lot of people. It was one of the things that I noticed. Like definitely taking calls, waiting for that next call, getting on the call and realizing the person wasn't really like qualified, that they wanted an app, not necessarily like just a website to like slash landing page for their business. And they wanted like a full suite software for like 50 grand Jamaican, which is like 300 US. And it's like, it's like, bro, perhaps. So that was another thing that I realized I did not enjoy doing. So I was really pushing like building and constructing websites. Like I had a whole thing set up. If you can see here, this website was built with V0. Then I took it into Cursor when Cursor was used before Cloud Code. I had like a whole thing going on, like data pipelining and stuff. Data like I had guides. Oh god, this website was crazy. So this whole thing was operational, was so insane. I also was still working. I still work at the university as well, where I do AI research. So I would say this was the second failure that happened throughout the year. So did get like 2 clients, yeah, but that was about it. Didn't make much money from it either, as well. Then came like the latter half of the year where I started getting really into podcasting and creating podcasts and bringing people on and just talking with people. Just like people were like so much smarter than me. I have this obsession with just knowing more than myself, and it wasn't getting the growth that I wanted. And I mean, I could have done more. This isn't like 2015 where like you could do podcast clips and people would watch you regardless of the topic. Especially because my topic is really niche, like tech, like AI, like deep AI stuff. It's kind of hard to. I would say the way that I went about it was very poor. I should have been a bit more. Should have leveraged more short form content for this, for sure. I did. Like I should have been optimizing more of my thumbnails for virality and stuff like that. Most of my viewership actually came from my short form content, which I should have been optimizing more. Like, how do you get like a YouTube short with 1 view? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I should have optimized more. Most of my viewership came from here because people would come from here, then go to the main video. But you live and you learn is the way I look at it. And if I'm gonna do back YouTube, I would definitely do it completely differently. Completely differently. So that really wraps up. There are actually a bunch of other projects that I did as well. There's this project that I did called Crypt. It was a crypto like chat bot. You could talk to it and you could place trades for you on your behalf. I didn't make it past the user sign up for that one. That wasn't really like a strong issue, because ultimately, like, who would trust AI with your cryptocurrency? You know, like, not me. Like, I wouldn't even trust my own platform, you know, so I stopped that one. I also had built out a platform where you could Ghiblify, like Studio Ghibli. You could definitely like take an image of yourself or whatever, you know, make it into Studio Ghibli style. I dropped that one, got to user sign up, and I was like, no way, bro. And then, oh yeah, the last project that I did before 2025 was called Fresh Fashion, where users could come and see themselves in, like, because this is a pain point that I had, where I'd be buying stuff on Shein and I'm just like, yo, how would I look in this? So the whole idea was that you'd be able to like select a model, and because Nana Banana Pro came out around this time, and I was like, yo, this software is crazy. Like, you could do anything, you know? So like I asked some of my friends to be models for me and stuff like that. And the beauty about this is that like you could actually click on this link and actually be brought to that article of clothing. And oh yeah, there you go. So it does really work. So yeah, so you could get brought to that article of clothing. So yeah, I think, did I ever finish getting? Oh yeah, look, hey. So yeah, so this is I got this far, and I was like, wait, nobody's gonna use a web app really for clothing. Most persons are gonna be mobile facing. So then, and I've tried doing mobile apps because I made the app that would track the. At one point, I was like building out an app where you could like track the gas prices in Jamaica, because I live in Big Yard, so that didn't work out as well. I got like mobile app development is crazy, man. Like, yeah, that stuff is insane. So yeah, so I would say every venture I started and I stopped as a result of it not being painful enough to myself. But it was through these quote unquote failures that I was able to like finally land on like better positioning of where I want to be. So so this year is all about prompt bank. Like every inch of my being is going to be working towards getting this as viral and as in front of as many human beings as possible. This is a strong pain point that I have in creating content with leveraging like FreePick and Higgsfield. Like every day I'm using FreePick and Higgsfield, I'm just like, why doesn't FreePick have this feature from Higgsfield, and why doesn't Higgsfield have this feature from FreePick? So this is my magnus opus, you could almost say, from the last 2 years or so of like creating content. So I cannot wait to keep on building this. Oh, not only that, but in addition to Prompt Bank, I'll also be moving away from John Does Combat as the main page and moving more towards John Does Coding. So this is like the new venture for myself. With this, we're looking for 100,000 followers by the end of 2026. So that way we can start looking for brand deals. We can start looking largely for a lot of just collaborations with different persons within the AI space as well. Would be sick. And also, we're going to be bringing back John Does Combat. But John Does Combat is going to be in like a different way. So we're going to be more collabing with the sportswear brand. This is something I've always kind of wanted to do. But this is like super side quest, and I'm getting help with a friend. I won't be actively building this out. I'm going to be having a friend of mine help me. She's cracked at social media, and she's going to be helping me along with this. You know, we go way back. So she's going to be helping me out with this one. So 2026 is all about growth on short form content. I've tried. Oh yeah, and I did also try X as well. X flopped for me, really. I tried X and I found that I was at 1,501 yesterday, right? So X flopped for me, and I would say X flopped for me because I wasn't as consistent. Like I would go really well for a week and then taper off. Because like with X, if you miss 48 hours of like X, that's it. Like your reach is nuked. That's it. So I've pretty much tried most of the written short form content, and now I'm going to be leveraging written short form content. Yeah. So now I'm going to be trying video. Funny enough, I think Roy said something the other day. Roy Lee, the guy who runs Chloe. Mind you, he got his success by being very conversational. What's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? I can't figure it. But being very like being very controversial. Yeah, being very controversial on X, which I would say led to a lot of his initial growth. But he did say, yo, video algorithms does scale better. And I was planning on doing it, and just hearing Roy Lee really harp it home was just like, you know, just a telling sign for me as well. And friend of mine, Saints, the name also is also a huge impact on me as well, because his growth has been immense. So that being said, so 2026, we're looking to scale up John Doe's coding, 100K followers. Oh, and also, you know, the prompt bank, the prompt, oh boy, can't spell today. The prompt bank. We're also going to be scaling up the prompt bank as well, for sure. I'm thinking around, because I'm going to have like multiple pages for this, like all kind of doing a little different content. So once I scale up this page and the others, like who are all tackling like different sections of generative image prompting, with this being the hub page, cumulative, I'm thinking around 50K followers would be sick. Like all of them, like a 25 for whatever amount, but cumulative, I'm thinking 50K as well. I do plan on cross posting to TikTok, but just cross posting, not really optimizing too much for this year on TikTok. I really want to get myself out there as a founder. I want to get Prompt Bank out there as a founder, and then we can optimize otherwise for TikTok. So that is the review for 2025 and the roadmap going forward for 2026. The next video will be at the end of this month to talk about what I have done to further push that forward on short form side to see what's working. So yeah.